Hello, my name is Maurice Matheo. I am a fashion designer and a costume designer. I'm based in Kigali. So I am founder of Matheo Studio, which basically focuses on making costumes and high-end fashion designs. I am 22 years old and I started designing in 2019 actually, but I opened up my studio in 2020. Well, African fashion has, of course, always been part of my culture, and literally, I think I'm very much inspired by it in a very different way, like a futuristic way, actually. So I grew up in a family where you always have to style well in a kitenge fashion, and so ever since I was little, I think that was part of our style in my community, and I think that was because I could always be like there to help them to style stuffs for them, to style them, and always try to bring that culture or that heritage of ours, I mean Rwandan heritage, to that styling. African fashion has always been part of my culture, of course, and it always has inspired me in a very, very different ways. Because I remember I grew up in a family where I was like firstborn, but again, I had like a lot of people that I grew up with that I consider to be my older sister or brothers. And always they could, I could be there to style them. I didn't know that I was actually styling, but that was what I was doing. Because, the kitenge fashion, our Rwandan heritage like Mushanana, in a very, very different ways. And growing up in that community, the culture that we always wanted to maintain, so kept me like grow up in that mode, in that region. And I think it come to the point where it inspired me to even create something, like creating some designs, not just styling my brothers or sisters, the way that I used to do it. So yeah, I didn't go in fashion to like bring whatever it is that I was making or that I was going to make back to where I come from or to my origin or what. No, I went in fashion because I felt like it was the right thing to do for myself, because I've always been found a style as a shade for myself. Like, it always been there for me to like give an excuse, show the people who I am, and show my feelings. So I didn't like get into fashion because I wanted to bring that to where I came from, or maybe impress them or whatever. I did it because I knew I had to do it, and it was gonna be the best decision for me to make. So my style is very much inspired by the future. I'm always trying to look forward. From the inspiration, the creations, everything is, I'm telling a story that I'm expecting to happen in the next generation through my designs and through my, my art, through everything. So my designs or my style is futuristic, always. But I didn't go to fashion school. No, I didn't. But right now I am learning. Yeah. So what I did, I studied actually, I did science in my high school, but again, fashion has always been there. It has always been there in the way that I didn't know. So I just, did it, even though I didn't go to school of it. Being independent for me, it's, it's hard, but again, as the question says itself, it's having that independence of like doing things the way you feel like you want to do them. There's no one there to like tell you, you know what, you are not going to do this jacket because we don't want it, or you're not going to do this pant. You are just always there to be the one who decides. on what you really want to create as an artist. And I think for me, for an artist, it's really something great. So I still reflect my origin, my culture, my heritage. I mean, Rwandan culture, Rwandan heritage in my creations, and it's really still inspires me in very, very vast ways. And of course, the process of making all these gowns, all these designs, involves the feelings of where I come from and where I want to be. So, mixing all of that together, and yeah, it always been there in the designs. So I am 22, and I started when I was 18, actually. And I think the word scary, as the question said, I would have been scared. I mean, if I was to be scared, I was supposed to be scared when I was 18. And now it has been already 3 years, so I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. I mean, I had a phase where I had to be scared, and I did, but I thought I had to fight over that fear so that I can keep on going. So I did fight over it, and now I'm here, and I don't really have extra work that I do because I wanted to dedicate my life to doing what I know that I do the best. No, I don't do everything by myself. Of course, you have to have a team, because we all know you can't do all things by yourself. So you gotta have a tailors, you're gonna have a project different kind of stuffs that you need as an artist for your brand to grow. So no, I don't do everything by myself. Like I said, fashion has always been part of my life. Ever since I was little, I remember could style, my family. I didn't know that I was styling, but I remember going to church. They could always put on stuffs, and they come to me and they're like, "How do I look?" So they always wanted to hear what do I say about their style. So, growing up like that, I think fashion has always been a shield for me. Which I think was the reason why I had to, decide to be in that field. Well, yes, anyone who wants can get into fashion, but as other fields, not everyone can make it. Because you need to have a lot of passion, love, dedication, to it. If you don't have a passion for it, if you don't have love for it, you will always find an excuse for you to leave it. Because first, it's really hard to get the financial barrier that you have to face as a beginner. And so if you don't have that, and you don't have passion or love, eventually you will not stay. So it's really hard for so many people to start, because fashion is really expensive and it requires a lot of input. I mean, and I'm talking about in financial areas. So it's really hard for startups, but like I said, when you have passion and love for it, you always find a way for you to start.